For nearly 3 decades, audiences around the world have held on to a single persistent question about Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. How could two people who seemed so undeniably connected never become a real-life love story? Ever since, they stood at the bow of the ship in Titanic, arms outstretched against the wind. Their chemistries felt almost too authentic to be just acting. The film itself became a cultural phenomenon, a sweeping romance that defined a generation. But what lingered even longer than Jack and Rose was the bond between the two young actors who portrayed them. They met in 1996 as rising stars, stepping into a production that would change both their lives forever. At the time, neither could have predicted that their partnership would become one of Hollywood's most enduring and emotionally layered friendships. From the very beginning, there was an ease between them that cast and crew noticed immediately, a rhythm in their banter, a shared sense of humor, and a comfort that didn't need rehearsal. Behind the scenes, while the cameras reset and the massive water tank stood still, they gravitated toward each other. Winslet has often described feeling instantly safe with DiCaprio, saying he made her laugh and the pressure of the production felt overwhelming. DiCaprio, in turn, has spoken about the rare trust they built so quickly. They were young, navigating sudden fame and the weight of expectation, and in each other they found something grounding. What developed wasn't a headline-grabbing romance, but something arguably more intimate, a friendship layered with emotional transparency. They teased each other, supported each other through grueling shoots, and formed a connection that outlasted the film's historic box office run. When Titanic exploded into global success, turning them into household names overnight, they could have drifted apart like so many co-stars do. Instead, they remained close, attending premieres, celebrating milestones, and quietly staying present in each other's lives. As the years passed, speculation never faded. The public watched every red carpet glance, every shared laugh at award shows, every moment they appeared side by side. When they reunited on screen in Revolutionary Road, the intensity between them felt deeper, heavier, perhaps shaped by time and lived experience. Their performances as a struggling married couple were raw and unsettling, and many fans sensed that something personal flickered beneath the surface. Yet publicly, both maintained the same narrative. They were best friends, nothing more. Still, close observers often wondered whether that explanation was too simple. In interviews over the years, both hinted at a protective instinct toward their bond. Winslet once suggested that what they had was too important to jeopardize. DiCaprio described her as one of the few people who truly understood him beyond the persona of fame. Timing, it seems, was the silent third character in their story. When one was single, the other was committed. When one sought stability, the other leaned into freedom. Winslet married, built a family, endured divorces, and continued to evolve personally and professionally. DiCaprio, meanwhile, became known for a string of high-profile relationships, rarely settling for long. Through it all, however, they remained constants for each other. When DiCaprio finally won his long-awaited Academy Award, it was Winslet's emotional reaction in the audience that captured attention as much as his speech. When Winslet faced personal heartbreak, DiCaprio was reportedly among the first she turned to. They seemed to orbit one another close enough to feel the pull, never quite colliding. Over time, both have spoken more candidly about regret in general terms, about paths not taken, about the complexity of preserving something meaningful. DiCaprio has acknowledged that there are relationships in life that feel singular, impossible to replicate. Winslet has reflected on the rare comfort of being fully seen by someone who knew her before global fame reshaped everything. Neither has framed their connection as a missed romance outright, but their words often carry a wistfulness that fans interpret as something deeper. It's not a tale of scandal or betrayal. Rather, it feels like a story about restraint, about two people who valued what they had so profoundly that they feared risking it for something that might not survive the pressure surrounding them. Hollywood is full of dramatic love stories that burn bright and fade fast. What makes DiCaprio and Winslet's connection so compelling is precisely what didn't happen. There was no public breakup, no tabloid implosion, no dramatic confessions splashed across magazine covers. Instead, there was consistency. Decades of it. A quiet loyalty that endured through changing careers, shifting relationships, and the relentless scrutiny of fame. Their friendship has often been described as soul deep, a phrase that resonates because it suggests something lasting without demanding romantic definition. Perhaps that is why audiences remain so invested. We are conditioned to believe that chemistry must culminate in romance, that tension must resolve into partnership. But sometimes the most powerful bonds defy that arc. In many ways, their story reflects a universal truth. Love does not always fit neatly into labels. It can exist in the space between friendship and romance, shaped by timing, fear, ambition, and circumstance. Watching them together still sparks a familiar warmth, a sense of unfinished poetry. Whether or not they ever considered becoming more than they were, what remains undeniable is the depth of respect and affection they continue to share. And maybe that is the real reason their connection endures in public imagination. It isn't simply about what might have been. It's about what has been: sustained loyalty without possession, intimacy without collapse, affection without expiration. As the years move forward and both continue their separate journeys, fans may continue to wonder about alternate timelines. But perhaps the beauty of their story lies in its ambiguity. Not every epic bond needs to culminate in marriage to be meaningful. Sometimes the greatest love stories are the ones that evolve quietly, surviving storms without demanding center stage. For those who still rewatch Titanic and feel a pang of possibility, it may not be because they believe the actors missed their chance. It may be because their enduring friendship reminds us that connection, in its purest form, can be just as powerful as romance, and sometimes even more rare.